Good morning, everybody. I'll give everybody a few minutes to get all the notifications and pop in here. We're going to try to clear up some of the fog today. I've been going over my sources, and there's some interesting information. L Dog, how you doing? GGS, good to see you. No live notification yet. Well, I just hit the button, so sometimes it's a little delayed. So we'll see. We'll give it a minute for everybody to pop in here before we get rolling on all this good stuff. Real quick, I guess we can go over some. There is a lot of stratotankers up over Israel and Jordan, so I assume we're pounding them a little bit again. A Russian plane over Turkey. There's actually quite a bit of Russian planes up today, so. Eric, good morning. How you doing? We're just kind of waiting for everybody to get the notifications and pop in here, and then we'll get rolling on all this stuff. Oh, we got an AWACS plane up in Alaska watching Russia. All right. You're awake? Jay, good to see you. Well, the day away. All right. So the oil prices have rose 34. This is as of last night, so it's different now, but rose 34.5% this week, which is the biggest weekly price jump in history. Now, at that point in time, it was 80 some. Kane, good morning. 80 some dollars a barrel. Now it's over 90. Last I saw it was 91 and some change. There are currently airstrikes going on in Tehran. Possibly arresting. Okay, yeah, that's whatever. All right. Now let's get to the latest stuff. The U.S. is ramping up weapons production by 400%. The White House officials say that the U.S. will seize all the oil from Iran. We're going to get to what's really going on over there in a minute, but let's get through all this stuff first. As the pace of the war intensifies, we expect more call-ups of National Guard and Army Reserve units, U.S. officials have said. Iran strongly welcomes the escort of oil tankers by the U.S. ships and that they are, by the way, awaiting their presence. You know, they were saying, "Oh, we'll get everything flowing up through the strait here," but ain't nothing flowing yet. You can look at the satellite radars and track the ship movements, and yeah, there ain't nothing going through there hardly. So, for some reason, the White House is blocking the FBI and top U.S. intelligence agencies from warning law enforcement across the country about new terror threats to the homeland tied to the war in Iran. I have no idea why they would do that. The Houthis have said that they are preparing to block the Red Sea. You think oil prices are bad now? Yep, just wait. The French aircraft carrier strike group Charles de Gaulle has just crossed the Strait of Gibraltar. There's 2 French frigates, a Spanish frigate, 1 Dutch frigate, and 1 Italian frigate, as well as a French submarine. U.S. prosecutors in Florida are preparing possible criminal cases against the Cuban government and the Communist Party's leaders as Trump signals Cuba could be next. Iran put out a video. It was an AI-generated video showing a nuclear missile obliterating Tel Aviv. Scare tactics. So, after a U.S. B-2 drops bombs on a suspected underground nuke facility, Iran allegedly ordered scientists to immediately enrich uranium to weapons grade. Last night on a threat on a church. Yeah, that's always a threat. Definitely keep an eye on things around your church. Absolutely. All right. There was an oil tanker bearing the trade name Louis P. and flying a Marshall Islands flag that was hit by a suicide drone in the middle of the Persian Gulf. That just happened. When did that come out? I actually don't have a timestamp on it, but that was earlier this morning. All right, so that's all. That's all that stuff. Trump says Iran will be hit very hard as the Iranian president apologizes for strikes on neighbors. Rural, good morning. ACR, good to see you. Kane, if I didn't say hi to you, how you doing? Of course, everybody attended the funeral for Reverend Jesse Jackson. Evidence suggests that the deadly blast at the Iranian school was likely a U.S. airstrike. We already talked about that. Justice Department releases missing Epstein documents with Trump allegations. You don't hear much about that anymore. That was the first casualty of the war. To head out for the morning. All right, cool. Teresa, sneak in here. Good morning, Teresa. How you doing? KP, good to see you. Okay, at least 6 dead after reported tornado rips through Michigan as storms hit central U.S. Yes, there is a big line of storms right now that's in Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, down into Texas. It's coming into the Ohio Valley here later on this afternoon. So if you're in the track of this storm, keep an eye out. Keep your NOAA weather radio on. U.S. to send anti-drone systems to the Middle East after successful use in Ukraine. They arrested a Pakistani man and found him guilty in Iran-backed plot to unalive U.S. politicians, namely Mr. Trump, of course. Russia is helping Iran target U.S. military forces. Apparently, Hegseth was asked about that, and he didn't seem to think it was a big deal. So, okay, so here's the thing. They keep telling us, "Oh, this is going to be over soon." We're gonna bomb them into submission. Well, okay, so let's get into some of this. So, we have bases that you can't hit with bunker buster bombs. You can't hit with nuclear bombs. They're buried in the mountains. Cheyenne Mountain, Raven Rock. There's several others, but those are probably the most famous ones anyway. You don't think Iran has the same thing? I mean, it's a mountain. It's half of Iran is nothing but mountains, and they've been preparing for this for 40 years. They're dug in like an Alabama tick. You're not going to get to all them missiles and all them drones and all their bases that are buried in the mountains. You're just not going to, not unless you put boots on the ground. And of course, they're not sure if they want to do that or not. Gen X Prepper, if I didn't say hi to you earlier, good morning. So this isn't going to end anytime soon. Okay, they're not going to give up. Of course, each side is saying things, and we don't really know for sure what's going on because they're not going to tell us. The U.S. government's telling us everything's fine, it's great, it'll be okay. Yeah, oil prices will go up a little bit over the next few weeks or whatever, but overall, it'll be just fine. Well, it ain't going to be just fine. Oil prices are going to keep going up. I've seen projections of $150 to $200 a barrel, which I don't even want to know what the gas prices are going to be after that. Got a little snow, huh, Kane? It is supposed to, let's see, we're going to have some 70-degree weather, and then it's supposed to snow here Tuesday, I think. Wednesday. Maybe it's Wednesday. Oops, good to see you. Yeah, this is not going as smoothly as they want us to believe. And of course, the Iranians aren't doing as good as they want us to believe either. Yeah, exactly. Everything's awesome. Don't worry, it's all good, right? So the jobs report comes out. Did you see that? They blew that one. Let me get to that. All right, let's see here. I have too many things on my phone. That's here. Where we got here? Here we go. Okay. So they were expecting it to go up 4.4%, and we lost 92,000 jobs. So they weren't even close. Of course, they never are. So they keep telling us, oh, yeah, the jobs report's great. Everything's going to be great. And then it's not great. Where's the rest of this stuff going on? Reports from Dubai have confirmed that the banks in the UAE have completely shut down. Only cash is in circulation due to the attacks on the data centers. Blue Butterfly, good morning. Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas is getting hit too. Yep, Arkansas, Missouri. Yeah, exactly. So, the data centers are shut down, and all of a sudden our finances aren't working as much. Oh, that's something else I was looking at. So, yeah, but like I said, they got bases dug in them mountains that you're not getting to. You're just not getting to. Not unless you're in there in person. You can throw all the bunker busters you want to at them, the skull, and you're not going to hit them. So this isn't just going to, be a couple more weeks and it'll all be fine. Even though that's what they're telling us. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on these storms today. I was looking at it a little bit ago, and supposed to hit here around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Possible severe storms. There's been a lot of tornadoes sighted, tore up some things. Luckily, we don't get too many tornadoes in this area because we're kind of in the rolling hills. We're in the beginning of the Appalachians. Gee, Montana, good to see you. So, but if you get into western Ohio, it gets pretty flat, and they have a lot of tornadoes out that way. Usually they dissipate before they get to them, but I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's unlikely. Sky News just now reported that Britain is preparing to deploy the aircraft carrier HMS Prince of Wales to the Middle East. I guess they decided to help out after all. I still think they're 40 years. Oh, good. I still think they're trying to draw NATO in. How's our favorite dog doing? She's sleeping. She's a bum. Oh, Reba. Okay, well, her eyes are open, but she's not moving. She don't do mornings. Like I said, she's on my schedule, so she usually gets up and around 11 o'clock or so. Right, exactly, Blue Butterfly. Yeah, it's not impossible. We have had them here before, but it's rare. Katrinka, good to see you. Cedric is snoring. Since Reba got her haircut, she hasn't been snoring as much. I don't know if she had some matting around here. I don't know if that was pulling and causing her to snore some more. But she hasn't been snoring as much lately. So she doesn't sleep any less, but she hasn't been snoring as much lately. Okay, I am going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up and discuss some of this. But yeah, this war is not going to go as smoothly as they want us to believe. That's a good point too, Oops. That is a good point. My phone I get all these notifications from my sources, and my phone's just been blowing up for like a week now. But I don't know. I still think, yeah, trying to get NATO. I do. I think they're trying to get NATO involved because I think China and Russia don't want to look like the aggressors. If we get NATO involved first, then they don't look like the aggressors anymore. They look like, or they're just coming in to help. So it looks better for them. You know, China's big about saving face, and so I don't think they want to look like the bad guys. Um, but anyway, what I was getting at is Iran may have a nuclear weapon anymore or already. I mean, they may have, whether they made one themselves or they got one from, you know, there's been a lot of flights in and out of Iran over the last few months from China and Russia. And I'm trying to watch all this stuff at the same time. So somebody might have gave him one. Who knows? Good Lord. So they may have one. A small one, maybe. Maybe not nothing big, but you know, Russia's still missing how many from the fall of the Soviet Union they can't find? Quite a few of them. James, good morning. Mrs. OPP is actually at work. She left about 2 hours ago, and she'll probably be home around noon or 1 o'clock before the storms get here. So she's doing pretty good, though. She's feeling better. They still got to run some tests. She has to go next Friday. They're doing something where they blow her stomach up, and then she has to eat some stuff, and they're tracking it to see. I don't know. I am not a physician. I don't know all that stuff, but so the good news is where she's getting this done is on just on the other side of Amish country. So we're going to swing by Amish country next Friday and maybe grab some food and check out some things. And we're going to get some meat while we're up there because I honestly don't trust the meat from the other stores. Forget Walmart, but even Giant Eagle, who says they get stuff from local producers, yeah, well, I don't trust it. Rabbit, good morning. How you doing? You know what? Let me go through and pin that link so I don't have to keep putting it up. Yeah. Yeah, some of these, I think there's going to be some recalls of some troops. Yeah, some of these. Nope, that ain't what I wanted to do. Well, it is actually, but. All right, let's see. There it is. Nope, that's not what I wanted to push. Dummy. Nope, that's not it either. One of these days I'll get this right. Buy meat from the farm. Yeah, well, that's why I get it from Amish country. Orlando Prepper, good morning. How are you doing today? But yeah, we try to get all of our meat from Amish country because Rabbit the cat's sleeping. Uh, well, because you know, there it is. There we go. Now I got it pinned up there. All right. Yeah, I've got a pretty messed up schedule this week too. Blue Butterfly. This month it's been crazy, and then with all the war stuff going on, that ain't helping. JD have some technical difficulties yesterday. I haven't even been watching a lot of YouTube because I've got too much other stuff going on right now. So if you haven't seen me in some chats, I'm still here. Just been busy trying to keep track of all this crazy stuff that's going on. So if anybody's got any thoughts or comments on what are you guys doing this week as far as prepping goes? Scooby, what are you doing? Uh, I'm going to go through a lot of stuff today and kind of do some sorting and spring cleaning, I guess you could call it. That's Scooby. And sort through a lot of, I need to organize some stuff. JD stream was okay, just couldn't comment. Shelling dried beans. Awesome. And of course, we're going to follow the war coverage and Oh, wait, it's not a war. It's not technically a war, right? Sure seems like it to me. They also say it's not World War III, but so far there's 17 countries involved. Maybe it's not technically World War III, but it does seem like it's coming. Like I said, as soon as they get, I still think they're trying to draw NATO in. I think they're trying to draw NATO in. Gen X, good. Sprout some things inside. Good. Yeah, it's about that time of year. I mean, don't plant anything. Well, at least if you're up this way, don't plant anything outside yet because we've had some nice warm days, but it ain't going to last. Focus on training. That's a good idea, too. Yeah, GGS, I do the same thing. If I don't write it down, then I forget things or I get sidetracked. So if I want to keep on keeping on and do the things that I need to get done, I write them down. Otherwise, I get sidetracked doing something else, and then I go, "Oh man, I really wanted to do this or that or whatever," and I don't get it done. So I have to make a list too. So I understand that completely. Looking for survival radios. Good. Yep. Comms is going to be important because there's a high likelihood that we get some cyber attacks due to all this. There's already been some on the banking systems. Yeah, right. Because we're still going to have some cold spells. JD's still learning. Yeah, it's a learning curve. Trust me. You know, I've been doing this for almost a year. Good Lord. It doesn't seem like that long. I mean, I don't know how long I've been on YouTube, watching things and hanging out. But as far as actually doing content, it's been almost a year. I think it's the 24th is my 1 year anniversary of doing all this stuff. I'll make a video and kind of tell you my thoughts on my first year in. But yeah, it doesn't even seem like that long, does it? So everybody's staying close to home due to all this. I know that's one of our things. We're kind of, I don't want to call it lockdown, but we're not going to get too far away from home while all this craziness is going on. Just in case, I don't want to be, hundreds of miles away from home, and all of a sudden we get a cyber attack on and the grid goes down, or yeah, I've done that. 40-mile radius. Yeah, that's probably a good number. Yeah, I like that number. Well, Gen X, you're going to have to get on that. It's hard to carve out time to do this. I've been trying to stick to a schedule, and I think I've been doing pretty good here lately. But uh, it is hard to carve out time, especially with all the crazy stuff's going on uh, in work. Of course, I mean, we don't do this for a living. We still got to work. 90% of us, and probably more than that actually. But so I've managed to been sticking to a schedule pretty good lately. I have some. Both like, uh, I actually have some prepping content that I've been working on, but it just hasn't seemed like the right time to put it out with all the other crazy stuff going on. We kind of need to focus on world events right now with it getting nuts out. Yeah, it can be. It definitely can be like it. I mean, it takes up a lot of your time. It does. When the weather gets a little nicer, we'll do a lot more outside stuff that I'm going to do anyway. That's the nice part about that's like free content because if you're going to do it anyway and you just decide, well, I should just record it, then that makes it a little bit easier. just like the news report I put out every day. I go through that myself anyway. So one day I just decided, why don't I just record this? I'm going to go through it anyway. I'm going to look at it. Hitting the record button while I'm going through it isn't a big deal. So so that helps. Doing everything live. Yeah, I mean, live streams help, but there is definitely uh it's good to mix it up to do videos and live streams. And they say do shorts. I don't really do shorts. I don't like shorts. Uh, most of the shorts you see of me is something with a goofy dog over there that's snoring. Luke, good to see you this morning. So the link is pinned to the top of the comments. If anybody wants to jump up and talk about anything today. Aloha from Ohio. Luke, you're getting ready for the storms that are coming this afternoon? Well, depending, it might be earlier than that, depending on what part of Ohio you're in. Yeah, MS Coast, I put that in my watch later file. I saw it pop up. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet, but I saved it so I could make sure I watch it. I try to go through that stuff on like Mondays. Mondays are a good day to catch up on the things that I threw in my watch later file. So good. Well, we're glad you stopped in to hang out with us today. Licking County. Okay. Yeah, I know where that's at. I'm about 30 miles south of Canton in Tuscarawas County. And Teresa will be up in Wayne County next Friday. I know Teresa's up that way. The prepping community is pretty strong here in Ohio. So seems like we got a lot of people here in Ohio that are like-minded. And can you stop shaking everything there, Chewy? And kind of spread. We got a lot of content creators from Ohio, to tell you the truth. So, I mean, I know I could pop off a half a dozen right off my head. So, where do you guys think this war is going? What do you think is going to happen? Is it all going to go good and it's going to be over in a few weeks, or is this going to be something that's just going to get uglier? I mean, I know what I think, but I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Because just because I think something doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not one of these channels that's going to come out and say, see, look, I told you this and I told you that. So yeah, I know where that's at too. I used to work in Washington, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, there's JD.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good so far.
It started pouring down raining and then it quit. But when I got up this morning about 6, it was 55 degrees, and now it's 62.
Yeah, it's nice and warm here. It's going to stay warm here for 3 or 4 more days, and then we got a chance of snow.
Yeah. I didn't realize we were supposed to get rain today. I knew last night. Oh, man, we had a heck of a storm come through last night. And then up in Michigan, I seen they had tornadoes up in Three Rivers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we're supposed to get some bad storms here later this afternoon, about 2-3 o'clock. Supposed to start. And last I looked at the radar, it was all going through Indiana and Illinois and Missouri and Oklahoma and down into Texas. It's a pretty good line of storms going through. I think I'll check it out again, see what it looks like now.
Yeah.
That was a couple hours ago, so.
No, I had I'm messing around with trying to do live streams and figuring out how it works, and I did one yesterday, and obviously I didn't punch the right button, and I punched made for kids, thinking that would allow anybody to be able to see it. But no, that means it's restricted. Then you can't do comments.
Right.
I didn't know that. You know, so I'm learning little by little.
Looks like the worst of the storms right now are a little southeast of St. Louis. And it's just starting to get into Ohio. It's up around Toledo now.
Yeah.
Cincinnati ain't got to be too far behind. Goes all the way down into Texas, Fort Worth and Waco. Pretty good batch of storms rolling through there.
Yeah.
So if you're in the line of these guys, keep an eye out. Yeah, GGS, you're probably right. So what do you think of this war, JD? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I really don't. You know, I watched Desert Storm and all that, you know, happen, and was worried about that. And I don't know. I don't remember it really affecting us too much. I know we had a gas thing that went way up for a while there, about that time back in the 80s, and then you know, gas has been going up, a little bit here, but I don't know if it's terrible to say, but as long as it stays right around $3, I'm not going to complain. I mean, but it's up about $3.50 now. Really, I mean, I see some of these other places $4, $5, $6 a gallon, and like, ouch, you know.
Well, that's price gouging, because having the straight shut off shouldn't affect us right away. It'll take a few weeks before that catches up to us. So right now they're just price gouging.
Yeah.
But if the strait stays closed for a long period of time, then it's going to go way up.
Yeah, and it'll take time for it to get to us, you know, the trickle down.
Yeah, right.
So, it may get a lot worse. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. You know, when I voted for Trump, and when I did, I was like, you know, I wouldn't want to go out and have beers with the guy, but, you know, he's a businessman, and he's obviously was a better of the two to pick from. And I've got my doubts. Don't get me wrong now. He makes some wild ass decisions. Maybe it will all work out in the end. I don't know. I mean, and he said from the beginning, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, he did say that. That's true. My thing about the two that we had is we have 360 million people in this country, and that's the best two candidates we could find.
Right.
I mean, wow. It just seemed like we could have done a better job than that.
Right.
But, I mean, I think the Iran thing was inevitable. I mean, they were not going to stop doing what they're doing, because it's their belief that they need to get rid of us and Israel. And they're not going to change their mind on that. So any kind of deal that we brokered between them was just going to give them more time to get ready to do the things that they want to do. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are complaining about it, but I still say they got bases buried in them mountains that you're not going to get to with a bunker buster or anything else. I mean, they're probably nuke proof, just like the places we got buried in our mountains, Cheyenne Mountain and Raven Rock and so on and so forth. So, I mean, we keep saying that we've eliminated their ability to wage war, but they're still hitting things. Hi, kitty.
Yeah, that's my outside boo-boo. Big kitty.
So,
18 pounds.
Wow. Yeah, they hit another one of our air bases yesterday, and they hit an airport, and They're still firing ballistic missiles, even though we said we got rid of all their ballistic missiles. But I still think that's because they're buried in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows what kind of tunnels they got. How deep.
Right. Whoops. Trying to hit these comments, but they're moving too fast.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I think the oil prices are just going to keep going up. Wonder what it is currently. When I woke up, it was $90 and some change. So let's look and see what it is right now. Right now, it is $91.27 a barrel.
Yeah. Well, I work about 20 miles from home, and I don't know if I could do it, but if I had to, I mean, I could bike it, but that would be extreme cases. I can't see me having to do that.
Yeah, unless there's actually an oil or a gas shortage, and then you just can't get gas, and you're not going to have a choice. But yeah, but at least you're thinking about it. I was talking about that yesterday, or maybe it was one day this week. I don't know, about having some kind of plan in case there are gas shortages and you can't get where you need to go.
Right.
And you got to have some, like I only work 6 miles from here.
Nice.
So, I mean, yeah, that's a couple-hour walk, but you've seen my van. So that the giant bus, I can drive it over to work and just leave it there.
Exactly.
And stay there for the 4 days that it'll be 3 nights that I work, and then just walk home and just leave it there and kind of have basically a camper set up at work. I can take the solar generator with me, and you take some seats out of that thing, and it's as big as some apartments I've seen. So, I mean,
right.
But I already got that plan in mind in case I have to do it. I don't want to have to do it, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I worked 50 miles from home or something, well, that'd be different. I don't know what I'd do then, but
well, a lot of my work too depends on whether we get deliveries in and out. So, as long as UPS, FedEx, and the mail service is delivering, then I got work.
Yeah.
But if that isn't running, then I won't have work.
Right. And if there's a fuel shortage, plus the cost of shipping goods is going to go up.
Yeah.
Because the gas prices go up.
I don't know if it's just around my area, but we have had horrible service lately. USPS, the guy just maybe one day won't show up, and we have deliveries that have to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then UPS, they are depending on AI in the area now to schedule their routes. So instead of me having the same guy dropping off every day right at noon and then picking up at 3:00 every day, now they have 2 different drivers. He might show up around 1 for the first time, and then the second guy, whether he remembers to come by or not. That's UPS. I don't understand.
Yeah. Didn't UPS laid off a bunch of people, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then I know,
like I said, they said it was this new AI system that's scheduling all their deliveries and who picks them up and who drops them off. And I don't see how it's helping. These guys don't like it. We don't like it, but welcome to the new world, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. I mean, you got to accept what you get when you depend on somebody else.
Absolutely. Good morning, V. How you doing? Yeah, and that AI thing's just going to keep getting worse. They're just going to keep taking more jobs and more jobs and more jobs, and I don't know what's going to happen. They all say we're going to get universal basic income. Well, maybe, but not till way after the fact, and by then there's going to be a lot of people living on the streets.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, the Bible says live in interesting times. I think we got that covered.
$4.69 for diesel.
Yeah, in Arizona. Vanessa's out in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what diesel is here. I didn't look. Last I seen that it was 3.29 yesterday, I think. Gas was here. So that's 50 cents from what it was last week. That's a pretty big 1 week jump.
Oh, it's raining, so these guys are hiding on the front porch.
Well, yeah. They're smart enough to get out of the rain.
At least they are. I was walking around in it last night.
Yeah, Jazz Genesis, that sounds about right. Because as gas goes, so does everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not as worried about the gas price as I am of us having a shortage.
Bradley International Airport.
The shortage would cause a lot more problems than just the higher gas prices.
No, my wife stopped at Meijer yesterday on the way to work, pick up some stuff for work, and she always runs through and checks out the discounted stuff first, see if there's anything. And man, she picked up some great deals. A couple tents. They were $65 tents for $13.
Can't beat that.
I told her to get both of them, and then there was a couple plugs. I forgot exactly what amperage and stuff they were, but they were I don't know, like $20-some normally, and they were $2. I told her to get them both. You know, I'll be able to utilize them somehow.
Yeah, I'm going to go through. I've got drawers of stuff that I've just thrown in drawers here and there, and that's my project for today is going through all them drawers and sorting through everything and figuring out what I need and what I don't need and making sure I know where it is. And
yep,
you know, I mean, I got stuff in the bags and I know where all that stuff is, but I got drawers of just stuff I've collected over the years, and I'm like, at one point in time, I knew what was in all those drawers, but now I have no idea. So.
It's not like me. You open it up, go, and just close it again.
Yeah. So that's my project for today. Is I'm going through all that stuff, and of course, I'm going to change out some batteries and some of my lights and stuff in case we have a power outage this afternoon. We're supposed to get some strong storms. So.
Well, didn't you say you had a shortage of paracord? That you needed paracord?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely need more paracord. Yeah. Yeah, I could just about build a house out of paracord, I swear. I think I had an obsession there a few years back, and well, they kept having sales. You know, you go get 100 foot was like $5, and I'm like, well, okay, you know. And I go back the next 150.
I'm not sure exactly how to rate this stuff or what brand is better than others, but I've learned. I don't know where I got it from, but you know, it was supposed to be the really good paracord 550, whatever. Yeah. And when I cut into it, you could see that it had different layers. Yeah. And I thought, oh, this is the good stuff. Well, I tried using it this winter on a tarp over the chicken run. Oh, no, shit. That stuff snapped like
really?
Like just string. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, maybe it was an off brand or from a foreign country or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never had any trouble with it. I actually usually replace my boot laces with paracord. If you take the end out with about this much and you just go over it with a lighter, it'll get hard like the
right.
And I replace my boot because the boot laces, even in the good boots, seems like they don't put very good laces in them, and they break and they get worn out. And that paracord, I put boot laces in that's lasted longer than the boots. So
Yeah. That's like shoestrings or the strings around your hoodie when it starts to fray.
yeah,
You take a straw, plastic straw,
yeah,
and get it on the end of it, and then light it.
yeah,
And it
that works.
shrinks up. Yeah. 321. Yes, indeed. I would use ISO. Keep that straw. Chicken coop. Crazy strong.
Yeah, if you don't know what paracord is, I see somebody asking about it. It's I'm sure I got some somewhere. Close by. But anyway,
it's never handy when you need it, though.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah, I only got about 1,000,000 feet of it, but it's got an outside layer and then several different cords inside, and they're usually rated on weight. Like the 550 cord is rated to hold 550 pounds. They make like 300 and 1,100, a little bit bigger stuff, and 550 seems to be the like go-to for everybody.
Have you ever been up to that place I was talking about yesterday, that Forest City up there in Cleveland?
Forest City? No. I think Shad goes up there, though. I think I've heard him talk about it before.
He's the one that turned me on to it. And we went over there, and I ended up picking up a bunch of stuff. I don't take no money with you when you go. It's addicting. There's a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, like I said, and some of it's used, or most of it's used, and then some of it's new. But it's if you find something that you need, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
we picked up a bunch of stuff.
We have to go up through Amish country next week.
Nice.
So I will probably stop at Lehman's up there, which is it's an Amish store, but they got oil lamps and all kinds of good stuff up there that come in really handy. But I haven't been up there as much lately as I used to be. So
last time we were there, we picked up a different type of oil lamp. That's the one that you can put stuff on top of and cook.
Yeah.
We picked one of those up.
Them come in handy. Pilgrim, good morning. Good to see you. ACR, have a good day. Yeah, somebody asked who's on the panel. This is JD Prepping Erie. If somebody could drop his link.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do that.
Technologically,
like I said, I'm still learning.
It's a learning curve. It is, especially when you're old guys like us that aren't used to technology that much.
My daughter's been helping me quite a bit, effort. She remember she
really
at Bug Out Weekend.
What's that?
Advert. My daughter.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
She helps me out quite a bit when I have questions.
Amish mechanic. Do a little live hike. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we're getting some storms this afternoon, and I'm staying in the house. Although it is nice and warm out. Before that, I got to make sure I take the dog for a walk. I go walk, Reba. I go walk. Nope. Oh, now you're awake because I said the W word. Reba. Why? She don't like to walk in the rain. You open the door and she'll go out on the porch and look and go, nope, I ain't going out there. Come on, say hi to everybody.
I know you're supposed to train when it's raining and snowing and things like that.
Yeah.
I just can't take my guns out and shoot and practice in the rain. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. It's just like they say you should go camping in the wintertime and that, and I have all the gear to do it. I just don't want to do it. I don't like the cold. I mean, I don't want, I'll do it if I have to, but I don't want to do it intentionally. Right. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
popping it up, going out back in the orchard and putting a tent up and stuff in the middle of winter. But then you got to hang it and you got to let it dry out.
Yeah.
You know.
And I should do it. I know I should do it. I've done it before. I just don't want to. Are you snorty today? Because you just woke up. This is my failed attempt at a guard dog. Epic fail right here.
That's like a few years back. Well, actually, it's been almost 10 years now. I said we'd lost our cat after like 15 years. And we went about a year, and I was like, I really want to get another cat. We just, we always enjoyed it, and it was easy to take care of, blah, blah, blah. So we went and we found one at the pound. Oh, yeah, this one's great. Didn't want anything to do with me.
Oh, yeah.
Ran around the house like a wild ass. We ended up calling her Sobe.
Yeah.
Because she was bouncing off the wall so bad, I called her son of a bitch. So then we ended up going and getting another one. Well, same thing. Got it home, didn't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
Come nowhere near me. So I was like, well, that's it. 2's enough. Well, I walk out on the porch one day, and here's this little tiny thing in the backyard. Here, I thought it was a dead rabbit. Oh no, something killed a rabbit. So I walked out there, and as I got closer, it moved. Like, oh shit. Here's this little gray kitten, long-haired kitten. Well, it was finally a boy. The other 2 are girls. This one was a boy. I can't go anywhere without it now. If I walk in the house, he shows up, and he sticks right with me.
Yep.
So if I sit down, he's on my lap.
Yeah, that's how we got we got a few cats, and that just, my wife she used to work at a vet. She doesn't anymore, but they just showed up. We'd find him. My big black boy, I found him when he was about 12 hours old. He was like just a tiny little, looked like a mouse. And I thought, man, he ain't ever going to make it. He's too small. Now, I mean, we knew how to take care of him at the bottle feed, and you got to help him go to the bathroom and all that stuff. But I still just figured he's too small. He'll never make it. Well, he's going to be, 6 this year. And he's big, like you said, you're 18-pounder. I don't think he's quite 18 pounds, but he's close. I mean, he's a big boy.
Well, these outside here, they're just strays that have showed up, and we'd feed, and they hang out, and we take them and get them spaded and neutered or whatever, and we get them fixed as they show up.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I think you've seen before all those little black kittens on the back porch. They all showed up, and we've been able to catch all of them, except for the short-haired black mother and one of the boy kittens.
Yeah.
All the girls we've been able to catch and take in. But they all, I tell you, we used to, once in a while, you'd find a mouse in a basement, or you'd notice something in the basement or something like that. No more. I haven't had any problems with that in years. Yeah,
we had during that real cold spell we had this year, we had a couple mice sneak in, but they didn't last long.
And also bay leaves and mint, we spread that throughout the basement inside. I don't know if it's that's keeping them away, or if it's actually the mice or the cats, because sometimes I look at these guys and I'm like, there ain't no way these guys are mousers.
The females are usually more hunters than the males are, but we had 2 mice sneak in this winter, and I'd wake up in the morning, they'd be laying in the floor. They didn't eat them, because it's not like they're hungry. They just eliminated them.
Yeah, that's I'll find little birds laying around too in the backyard. The one black kitten has been all over the chicken coop lately, up on top of it, on top of the cages, and we've let the chickens out, and it's funny because a couple of the chickens will run up on the back porch and chase the cats away and eat the cat food.
We have to put our cat food, we put it up on a dresser, because if we don't, the dogs eat it. because I think they'd rather have cat food.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep things interesting.
So we have to put the cat food up where the cats can get to it, but the dogs can't. Otherwise, there's no cat food, huh? Somebody like? Do you like cat food? You do? Yeah. You like cat food? Yeah. Yeah, this is my baby. The other dog, at least he barks if somebody comes on the property or something. She don't even bark. She don't even wake up. It's like nothing's going on. Like somebody broke in the house, decided to eliminate us. She just sit there and watch, and when they're done, she'd be like, "Okay, can you give me like a biscuit or something on your way out?" You know, you're useless. Not much of a guard dog. No, you failed as a guard dog, Reba. Failed.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're moving the computer. Get up there. There we go. All she wants to do is sleep and walk and eat. Huh. And I never wanted a dog. Like I never, because they're work. You can't go out of town for a couple of days and leave them alone. Like the cats, you'd make sure they got food and water and litter boxes clean and that. And you leave for a couple of days, and they might be mad at you when you come home, but they don't care.
Yeah, ours
You do that.
Same thing.
Yeah, you can't do that with a dog.
And you come back and they sit in a corner and
yeah,
go up and sit next to you, but they look away.
Yeah, they're like,
bad, but here I am in case you want me to pet you.
Right. Right. You can't do that with the dog. So, but I wouldn't trade her. She's a good girl. got a 95-pound Rottie that's about the same level as a guard dog as mine. Yep, she's useless. Like I said, the other dog, he barks if somebody comes by, even on the side, out on the sidewalk, which is quite a ways from the house, and that he'll tell you, he'll let you know, but not her. People come in the house and she don't even wake up. Yeah. Oh, you want your belly rubbed? Okay, she's gonna lay upside down. Let me rub her belly now. Yeah, but guys, I would definitely do as much prepping as you possibly can right now, because this is just going to get worse and the prices are just going to go up. And if we have a gas shortage, which hopefully we don't, but if we do, it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, that's because we prepped. We only really buy anything that we might find on sale.
Yeah,
that's really about the only thing that we go for, and we don't even really go to the store that much anymore. But when we do, we'll go and just do the sale stuff. But
yeah, we ordered some more freeze-dried food last week. Not that we really needed it.
You told me. Yeah, you said about that.
Yeah, not that we really needed it, but the wife was like, I think we should get some. And I'm like, I don't argue with her. I'm like, okay. So, like I said, worst case scenario is we'll just eat it, So, I mean, it's good stuff. I've ate it before. I like it. So, whatever. We'll just eat it. Put some extra fuel away. Yeah, that's a good idea. Water, food, and gas. Good idea. Yep. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't have a gas shortage. Hopefully it all works out. But I have my doubts because they're not telling us everything. Not that I would even expect them to, but Iran's dug in a lot worse than what they're letting us know. They make it sound like they're just going to walk through there and that's going to be it. But I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, what worries me in a roundabout way is they keep saying, we want the Marines to show up. We can't wait for boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't like that,
Yeah, because they're dug into the mountains and they know that that's not the easiest terrain to go in and fight on. So.
Yeah.
Radios and medical. Yep. Yeah, if you got a place to store that much fuel,
Wow.
that's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
I know some of the Amish guys and that have their own tanks out there because it's well, they can't just go get gas. For some reason, they won't drive a car, but they'll drive tractors and all that stuff. So they have their own, like a 300-gallon tank out there for fuel for their tractors and stuff. They just get it filled up every now and then. Oh,
have you ever heard of the tablets that are just chlorine, nothing else, just a chlorine tablet?
Yeah.
Because there's guys that have been talking about it, said, well, be careful which ones you get because some of them have other stuff in them. So that's what I kind of been, next time we're down. I know last time we seen them, we were up near Clare, up in Michigan, in that Amish area. And I seen them at a store there. I didn't get any, but I seen them. And then Modern Refugee was talking and saying that you can't get just any of them.
Right.
But if you do get liquid chlorine, make sure it's not the smelly kind or the kind that's got the thickener in it. Just get plain, flat out Clorox.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use a little bleach too, a drop of bleach, and I have it wrote down because I didn't want to save it in my phone just in case. But I can't remember exactly how much bleach you put in per gallon of water. But it's a very tiny little amount.
So I'd made a joke before that when I'm doing live streams or when I'm listening to live streams and stuff, I got a notebook sitting next to me. I always write stuff down like that and write down somebody will mention a website or another channel, and I'll hurry up and scratch it out and then go back later and check it out. Well, so I'll do the same thing. So in one of my canning books in the back or in the front, I will I have all the formulas like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember them offhand, but I got them wrote down. So many drops, per gallon, or, there's another one that he had figured it out. Like I have a 250 gallon, or I got several, but one on a 250 gallon water tank, how much chlorine you put in, because I filled them with my well water. And I seen like, who was it?
Right.
Nurse Prepper 1.
Yeah.
He blackens all of his tanks because they're outside in the sunlight.
Okay.
And he said that'll keep mold and stuff from growing inside there. I've never had that issue. I've never had a problem with it. And in fact, this year when it was so deathly cold out, I went out and checked it, and the water wasn't freezing either. I was surprised. Yeah. I thought, after 2 or 3 weeks of freezing weather like that it would have froze solid and tried to split the tank or something, but it didn't bother at all.
Yeah, that sounds like a definite concern. Dan H., good morning. Our favorite mass hole.
Dan H. He's got a cool looking tent.
Yeah.
And bleach tabs, but I've never seen straight tabs.
Yeah, I got notebooks full of stuff that people say put it on a thumb drive, and yeah, you can do that, but my fear has always been, if we have some kind of solar flare or an EMP or something, what if you can't get the information on your thumb drive? I'd rather write it down. That's just me personally. I mean, you guys can do what you want, but me personally, I'd rather have it written down so I can go through and look. And I know it's harder to find than it is on a thumb drive, but.
Well, what I heard too the other day, what a guy was talking about is, how you can load stuff on a stick?
Yeah.
Well, they were saying that not all of them are rated the same, and some will only last maybe 2 or 3 years, and then they start getting funny and they won't work right. Some are last 10 years. So yeah,
I'd rather just have it in a notebook. It just makes me feel better.
Yeah. We got some of our personal information like that, and then we
Yeah.
got wrapped up in a bag.
Yep, and I got condensed versions of my notebooks and my bug out bags and things like that, just in case I ever need to get to that information. Hopefully, it never comes to that, but
Right.
Gen X Prepper says he uses notebooks as well. Yeah, it must be our age group. I'll bet you the younger ones are more thumb drive people, but I think our age group just likes to have stuff written down more so.
Well, that's something though that I've never, guys have talked about. If you think you're going to have to bug out, you should have all your personal information in a package that you can throw in your bag and take.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess it's one more thing to think about.
Yep, and have it in some kind of waterproof something so you don't have to worry about it getting wet. Right in the rain notebooks, yeah, them are like priceless.
Right in rain notebooks. Yeah. Well, if you know marine, you have a crayon.
I keep some paint markers in my, a lot of people talk about Sharpies, but I keep paint markers in my bug out bag. So if we have a system set up so that if like I'm at work and the wife's at home and we have to go to our bug out location, she can leave signs along the way with the paint marker. Cause like a Sharpie, yeah, okay, well, they don't write on everything, paint marker, you can write on anything, tree, whatever, and, leave little signs that nobody else would really notice. That so I know that she's gotten X far, that she's still on course to get to where she needs to go. So if I'm behind, then I know, okay, everything's cool, Yeah, there's some people out there that know exactly which kind of crayons taste better too. Oops. Fury, there's nothing to bark at. That was a car. What are you doing? That was a car, goofball. That's my early warning system. At least, like I said, at least he does tell me what's going on. It was a car. Chewy, knock it off. It was a car. What are you looking at? You're a goofball. No, don't get up here. You're too big. Coffee? Absolutely. Of course I got coffee. That's a dumb question. Yes, coffee. Of course. I actually made me some Black Rifle coffee.
You mean there's people that get up and don't drink coffee?
I don't know how I don't know how they survive. Nope, I just drink mine black, Mike.
Yeah, me too.
I actually got out the coffee grinder and made some Black Rifle coffee this morning instead of just the old pre-ground stuff.
Oh, that sounds good. I bought an antique grinder and tried it once, and a buddy of mine brought some beans in for me and said, "Try these," because I didn't want to have to go buy a whole bunch and then not work right or something.
Yeah. Chewy. I have a lot of freeze-dried instant coffee sealed up in oh, my brain just went. But anyway, yeah, sealed up in case of that's my coffee supply in case everything goes south.
Me too. I got a bunch of that. But I'm usually just a K-cup guy. No, I can do them one at a time. They're quick.
Oh, no. I drink too much coffee for that. That would get way too expensive.
Well, that's another Amish thing. I like hitting the Amish discount stores.
Yeah. Yep, we're going to do some of that next week. We have to go up Amish country anyway. For my wife has to get a test in Orville, which is just on the other side of Amish country. So we got to go through there. So on the way back, we're going to hit some of the Amish stores, and we're going to stock up on a little meat from some of the Amish farmers that sell their stuff at their local stores and that. So, yeah, I don't know how people that don't drink coffee survive. I don't know. I have to have coffee. There's nothing better than that first sip of coffee in the morning. Oh yeah, Vanessa used to live up here in Ohio, so she knows where the Amish are.
No, we got to travel. There's none real close to us. We either have to go north up into mid Michigan or west Michigan or on the other side of Cleveland there.
Yeah. Holmes County. I'm about 25 miles from Holmes County, which is, well, Holmes County, Ohio, and Lancaster County, Pennsylvania go back and forth about which one of them are the largest Amish communities in the country, but it really doesn't matter. They're both big. So,
yeah.
So I got more than enough Amish right around here. And you can learn a lot from them. Like I said, my first thing, as soon as we get our homestead, which we've been looking around, the prices are starting to come down a little bit, and interest rates are starting to come down a little bit, and some people are getting desperate to sell some stuff, which is helping. Oh, Mike, we were talking about that. Now, I don't know about the airfields, but as far as the missiles and drones, we were actually just talking about this a little bit ago. They've got, I'm sure they've got bases like we have, like Cheyenne Mountain and Raven Rock and stuff like that, dug into them mountains that you're not going to get to with a bunker buster or anything else. And I'm sure that's where they got a lot of that stuff stored. So yeah, they keep saying that we've taken out their ability to fire missiles and stuff, but yet they're still firing them away. So my guess is they're buried in them mountains. Now that's just a guess, but
Hudson, with the airfields, the only thing I'm thinking is they don't want to destroy them in case they want to have to use them in the future.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, underground tunnels. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Underground. I'll bet you there's a ton of them, and they're way underground.
Yeah, probably in the mountains. I mean, yeah, we're bombing the snot out of the cities.
I don't know. Do you remember that movie? I think it was Three Kings, where they're trying to find a gold over there. The army, the military guys, three guys, and they were trying to find that gold in the tunnels that they were crawling in and walking through, and they get all the way down, and it's the temperature's good, and they have TV and everything else,
Yeah.
Way underground.
Yeah. Mike, no, I actually didn't see they painted aircraft on the runways, and they were bombing paintings, huh? Yeah, I think they're smarter than they're giving them credit for. And I don't think we're just going to walk through there like everybody thinks we are.
Well, with today's day and age, we should know where everything is at. When something moves, they should know where it's at.
Yeah, you would think. But if they were building stuff in the mountains and never brought them out, then that would probably be the only way that we would know where it is.
Well, we've been watching them long enough to where we should be able to see traffic,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we know that they have them bases in the mountains, but there's nothing we can do about them. Yep, Mike, I'm with you. I don't believe it. I don't believe the propaganda either. Yep, I'm right there with you. Yeah, and Vanessa, I also saw where China was giving them some intel as well as Russia.
Giving Iran intel.
So, which doesn't surprise me any. I don't think it surprised anybody. Hegseth didn't seem too surprised. The alerts on my phone has calmed down, so must not be anything going on right now. Of course, it's not dark over there yet. We like to do stuff in the dark. Yeah, I'm not believing any of the propaganda either. I think this is going to be a lot worse than what they're telling us. They make it sound like it's going to be just a walk in the park, and so far it's not.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're definitely in the fog, Mike. Yep, in some deep fog. Mike, I posted pinned the link at the top of the chat if you want to come on in and
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out.
Okay.
I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today, so it's been nice visiting.
Yeah, thanks for stopping on, JD. It was good seeing you.
Hopefully, we can hook up soon.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's going to be a. I know Vision was talking about the bug out weekend, and Ghost made a good point about people not really wanting to get too far away from home right now. So it might be a good idea just to not do it this year, and I think that's a good possibility. And I think Ghost is right about that too. I know we don't have any plans on getting too far away from home right now until things seem a little safer. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. Mike's on his way to work. Have a good day, Mike.
All righty. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Thanks, JD.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, if you haven't already checked out JD's channel, go check him out. He's still learning how to do this YouTube thing because us old guys here are technologically handicapped. And so it takes a little getting used to, and it does. It's a learning curve. I mean, still talking. I don't know what the gas is here. I actually haven't been out today. I don't plan on going anywhere today, actually. So I probably won't get an update. Now, maybe the wife will look at it on her way home. 50-50 chance. So maybe we'll see what the gas is here today. But wow. Jumped 16 cents from Thursday. Yeah. And it's just going to go up. I mean, I'm telling you, they keep saying, oh, yeah, we're going to escort the boats through, but there still ain't no boats going through. So, you know, they tell us a lot of things, and I think they just tell us what we want to hear to keep everybody calm. Yeah, it's going to be dark in Iran pretty soon. Not quite there yet. I don't see any of the strata tankers running around anymore. Now there's one. That's it. So we must not be doing any strikes right now. Taking a break. Another C5 Galaxy on its way over there. It's almost to Britain. We have a command and control plane over Georgia. AWACS plane over Oklahoma. I don't see anything too awful concerning right now. We've been keeping a close eye on China. It's something nobody talks about, but we've had that combat sent over there for like a month. And that thing is more Black Sheep, good to see you. Is more concerning than everybody thinks it. I mean, we only have 2 of those. Those are high priority reconnaissance planes that oh yeah, that thing, it's a monster, Mike. Yeah. But anyway, that combat sent, we only have 2 of them, and they you've been watching China, North Korea. Yeah. And it's been flying around the Chinese coast and the North Korean border for like a month now. And we don't send them out just for the fun of it. Like I said, there's only 2, and they report directly to the president and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Yeah, them C5s are just gigantic. Everybody talks about the Globemasters that's been flying back and forth, and them are big planes too, but nothing compared to them C5s. And things are gigantic. But anyway, so we have been keeping an eye on China and North Korea. I don't know if we're expecting them to join in or I don't know why, but nobody talks about. You don't hear anything about that on the mainstream media. They don't even talk about China and North Korea. And the Rocket Man has pledged his support for Iran. Not that that's too awful concerning, but yeah, Scooby. So uh, I don't know, but if we keep cutting off everybody's oil, everybody else keeps having the same oil problems that we're having or everybody's having right now. I wouldn't be surprised if China throws their hat in the ring, but I still think they're trying to drag in NATO first because they don't want to look like the bad guys. They want to look like they're coming to the rescue, or they don't want to look like the aggressors. So I think that's why Iran keeps tossing rockets at NATO countries, trying to get somebody to scream Article 5. Yeah, Vanessa, I saw that this morning. Mike, you're definitely right. Like I said, if there's anything you think you need, go get it now. If nothing else, you're making an investment because the price is going to go up. Because everything comes by truck. Gas goes up, shipping goes up, prices go up. So, like I said, we ordered, we pulled the trigger on us get a freeze-dried food. And if everything calms down and we don't need it, well, we'll just eat it and save the money from going to the grocery store and pay it off. So I mean, it's not a big deal, Yeah, I know France is sending in a ship, but they'll probably surrender. So no, France is actually mad right now. But if Iran wants to drag NATO in, they should. I know this is probably probably shouldn't be giving them advice. Of course, like they're going to listen to me. But let's throw a rocket at Poland. That'll do it. Poland will scream Article 5 in a heartbeat. So oh, GGS, you're welcome. I just the Sharpies just don't write on quite everything. Oh yeah, see, and now the Venezuelan thing, like Mike's saying here, makes a lot more sense. We I'm sure we knew that we were going to go into Iran when we did the whole snatching the Venezuelan because we needed the oil, and we knew if we went into Iran, we were going to need oil. Those ships don't run off of hopes and dreams, neither does the aircrafts or anything else. So we needed another source of oil. So I'm sure that had something to do with the whole snatch and Maduro thing. I'm sure this has been planned for a long time. Yeah, everybody's sending ships in, and Iran says that's what they're waiting for. They're like, send them. So I don't know. I still think they got more up their sleeve than what we know about. Yep. I agree with you, Mike. I think you're right. And I do think, like I said, if this isn't already World War III, which it may be, but if it's not, it's going to be. I truly believe that. Then we just borrowed them. We'll give them back once they're empty, maybe. Yep. Yeah, and that's something else. CB, you're absolutely right. Nobody's talking about fertilizer, but that's going to be a big deal too. So not only is your food going to cost more because it costs more to ship, but they might not be able to grow near as much because a lot of the fertilizer comes from over there. So yeah, that's going to be an issue as well. Although you don't hear about that on the mainstream news either. Yeah, something's coming. Yeah, this is just not as cut and dry as Trump and the media and that is making it sound. Yep. Another good point. See, that's what's great about this community. Everybody knows. Okay. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Mike. I missed. There we go. Yeah, Trump said that we're taking all the oil from Iran, but of course he says a lot of things. So I don't know if I'd take that with a grain of salt. Okay, go there. I don't think we can get all the oil from Iran. I still think that they're going to put up a lot more of a fight than what we think or what we're being told, I guess. I won't say what we think because I think a lot of us know better, but what we're being told is, oh, there's nothing they can do. We're just going to walk through there, walk in the park, right? I don't think so. Like Hudson Valley, like Mike was saying, they're still lobbing missiles. They hit the air base in Iraq again last night. And so KR4, good morning. Exactly. Yep. Gen X Prepper, you're exactly right. Which may eventually force them to get in the war. Christine, good to see you. Kristen, sorry. Chewy. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, there we go. I didn't want the dog to bark in you guys' ear. Lay down. The neighbors got two German Shepherds and they're howling, which means the rescue unit or police or somebody's on their way down through here. Awesome. That's awesome. Yep, that's good advice. Ain't gonna hurt to have something like that sitting around. Because nobody's coming to save you. But all goes down, we're on our own. I think we all kind of know that. But I mean, if we get in a full blown SHTF situation, the paramedics, the rescue units, the firefighters are all going to be home taking care of their own family. They're not going to come and rescue you. Yeah, their defenses against our aircraft haven't really shown much to be very successful. Yeah, so that's a good point. Of course, we haven't really shot at any of their aircraft, so we don't know how successful ours would be. Not any of their good aircraft, anyway. Tactical Muffin Top, good to see you this morning. Get any storms out that way? KR4, thank you for your service. 359 in Dayton. Getting everybody's dogs riled up. Granny, good morning. How are you? Got some fog so far. We had a lot of fog all week, actually. It wasn't real thick. It was just more of a haze, but Guys, if you want to get some tips and tricks on freeze drying some food, check out Granny's Southern Corner. Somebody wants to drop her link, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, CUCB, that's already happening. They've been hitting refineries and things like that. Yep, that's true. Thank you, Granny. Yeah, she's feeling a little better today. You still got to get some tests and that next week. We were talking earlier. I will be up in Amish country next weekend because my wife has to go Friday to get a test done in Orville, which is it's kind of on the edge of Amish country, but it's on the other side. So we're going to have to go through Amish country. And so we're going to stop at some of the Amish places, make a day of it. So we will be up in the Amish country next weekend. Granny, you're welcome. Somebody wants to drop Granny's link. That'd be great. Oh, OP's in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, man. I've been watching you ever since you started here. Yeah.
How's things down in the warm weather? Well, of course, it's warm up here. So.
Yeah, but that's dangerous for you guys this time of year.
Yeah, well, we're going to get some storms this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, like I said, I've been watching you since you started, man. I appreciate you doing this on Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'm going to start
giving us all something to join in and be a part of while we're having our coffee. But
yeah, I'm going to make it a regular thing because it's a good time. No, usually nobody's on this time, so I'm not really, stepping on anybody's toes or, I think it's just a good time to do it. And I usually go to bed in early
conversation.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, everybody's talking about this, the war and how. Well, I think it's going to get worse. You can't win honestly, you can't win a war like that without boots on the ground. And
yep, I agree.
Anybody that's ever been part of the military or people that's even just paid good close attention to it, that. But thankfully, the Kurds have volunteered to step in and kick some butt for us over there if we just give them the equipment to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we can bomb our way out of this because I still think they're buried in them mountains and we can't get to them without boots on the ground.
I've seen videos that was done by the BBC. It shows all of the underground facility, not all of them, but a lot of the underground facilities that Iran has, and they have hundreds of miles of underground facilities, hundreds of feet deep, full of missiles and armors and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a while before this thing is over, unless Trump just says, okay, that's enough and pulls out. But I don't see him ever doing that.
No, I don't either. Yeah, I think this is going to take a lot longer. It's not going to be near as easy as they say.
Yeah. But you guys are talking about, storing up on food and fuel and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. You got to do it. I mean, and like you said, even if this ain't the real deal, then it's there for you to use.
Right.
And it's only going to go up, you know, from here. But the one thing you hadn't mentioned, you touched on it a little bit, is communications. Make sure that you got your communications ready to go, guys, because if they do pull some kind of cyber attack and knock out the internet or your telephone or whatever, you got to be able to, if nothing else, just get you a weather radio. I mean, you guys are sitting there now, right now you're sitting there and, you're under a weather threat. And it's nice to be able to just push that button and find out what you need.
Yep. I keep a Bofang in my work bag.
Yep.
Because, storms roll in here usually in the afternoons and I'm at work. So, if I know a storm's coming, I'll turn it on and listen to it while I'm at work. So I know, if I need to, if there's a tornado coming our way or something, flood, something, So I use that thing quite a bit, not so much in the wintertime, but in the summertime, I use it quite a bit at work.
Yep. But, I just wanted to let everybody know, make sure you got them comms. And I mean, everybody, the old UV5R has a bad reputation with a lot of the sad hams, but I'm going to tell you what, that is a versatile, wonderful little piece of equipment that everybody needs to have.
Yep. And
Yeah.
guys, if you haven't watched, Orlando has some videos on like how to hack them things, and so you can use them. Yeah, they're great videos. So go
Yeah.
check them out sometime along. Yes, definitely make.
Well, on Thursday night, you were there on my live stream
Yeah.
on Thursday night when I was recommending that to everybody. So, hey, you can't beat it, guys. I'm telling you. But here's something I told everybody on Thursday that a lot of people don't know. Now, that weather radio system that the federal government has is probably the best and the probably the most armored radio system in the United States.
Yeah.
And when things go bad, the federal government is going to use that system to issue vital information to the general public.
Yeah, right. That's not just the NOAA weather. That's also the emergency broadcasting system.
Right, right.
Although most of the time it's just the weather, but
right. But I just wanted to drop in there and say that, let everybody know, at least get that weather radio, guys.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, and say, and I want to thank you. I appreciate this Saturday morning thing because on Saturdays I'm moving a little slow.
Yeah. I think we're all
but
move a little
now
slow.
Got out to the shed. I got some work I got to do. And I work out here in the shed, and I enjoy listening in to you on Saturday mornings. And right now I got to get to work, so I'm gonna get out of here and say, all you folks up there in where the weather's coming, get ready. Yeah, like you say, don't wait on it because it ain't gonna wait on you.
Right. That's what I'm getting ready to do here pretty soon.
All right. I'm gonna get out of here, buddy. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks for stopping by, OP. Good seeing you.
All right, buddy.
Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the Orlando Prepper or Hudson Valley, any of these guys, go check them out because they all do great information. Okay. If you're new to this, the prepping thing, us on YouTube, there's no competition. Like, we're not in competition. We all support each other and promote each other. And I learn from these guys, and I don't know if they learn anything from me, maybe here and there, who knows, but it's all great information. So go check them out. Hudson Valley, Orlando Prepper, the Rural Report. He was here earlier. He's off doing some things today. We'll be on the Rural Report tomorrow night for our 0 Hour podcast, which I don't know who our guest is. I didn't ask, so it'll be a surprise to me too. So I don't know who our guest is. I could ask, but it's kind of fun letting it be a surprise. So I'm sure Rural would tell me. But all these guys have great information. They all kind of have their specialties. So, like, Orlando Prepper is really good with the comms. So, and Mike's actually learning a lot about this new system that. So he'll probably have some videos out on this coming pretty soon. There is Mike's link. If anybody hasn't already subscribed, please go do so. But yeah, like OP was saying, comms plan is very important. And if nothing else, those radios are great for incoming weather, like he was talking about. I will have mine on this afternoon when the storms start rolling in. It's actually getting the winds picking up. I can hear the wind chimes out there. Eric, have a good day. So the wind's picking up. The storms aren't supposed to roll into about 2 or 3 o'clock. I know they're rolling into western Ohio now. Last I looked, they're probably in Cincinnati by now. KR4, good. So if you're in the line of these storms, and really I think most of us are, except Vanessa, because she's out in Arizona, but most of us are in the line of some of these storms sometime, either yesterday, the day before, or today coming up, or maybe even right now, depending on where you're at. Stay safe, guys. Keep your ears open on the weather radios. Have a plan for if things go sideways. You're in Benson, North Carolina. I think North Carolina is probably getting storms sometime today or tonight. You have an island 30 miles off the coast. Boy, that'd be nice. Oh, you live on an island 30 miles off the coast. Awesome. No, I know, Vanessa. For those of you who don't know, I lived in Vegas for a long time, and it would rain once every couple of years out there. So, yeah, storms aren't really an issue out there. There's other things that are issue, droughts and heat and things like that. But storms, yeah, not so much. Unless you're talking maybe a dust devil, dust storms, but not so much thunderstorms. That's the only thing nice about the desert is you don't have weather related stuff. Yeah, Vanessa, when I lived out there, I missed seeing a good thunderstorm. I did. That's about the only thing I missed from here in my little town, Ohio. But I'm glad to be back. I wouldn't want to be out there right now, especially with the droughts and that. Lake Mead's going to be empty pretty soon, and that's where Lake Mead and Lake Powell, and that's where all these places get their water from. It's snow melt off from the Rockies, and they haven't had near enough snow in the last few years. Plus, there's more people living out there now, so they use more water than they used to, which isn't helping the water supply at all. And bugging out in an area like that is going to be an issue because there's no water. I mean, you pretty much got to follow the Colorado River if you're going to bug out. You got to stay close to the water. To where here in Ohio, there's little lakes and streams and ponds, and there's water everywhere. You just have to know how to filter it and purify it. They're going to do some cloud seeding out there. The only problem with living in the desert is when it does rain, the ground's like concrete. It's all baked earth, so it don't soak up a drop. So, you know, they call for flash floods back here in the Northeast and that, but you ain't seen a flash flood till you heard it roaring down one of the runoffs coming at you, because it don't soak up a drop. It just runs to the lowest point. You watch Prepared Citizens 5 minutes bug out. No way it would ever work. And he did a good job, but forgot a bunch of stuff. Well, in 5 minutes, yeah, I mean, that's tough to cram into a 5-minute thing. So, but I like Prepared Citizen. He does a good job too. You've heard about Lake Mead. Yeah, Lake Mead. I mean, it was down. I've been back here since 2007. And it was down then, and it's really bad now. Missouri is banning the cloud seeding. Good. Oh yeah, it's really bad. If you can look at pictures. You go to the internet, look at pictures, and where the rocks are like white. You know, you go up so far from the lake, and then the rocks are white, and then they stop being white. Well, where the white ends is where the river, or where the lake used to be. Yeah, KR4, you said you lived in Wheeling. Yeah, Wheeling floods a lot down there on the river. Wheeling Island floods all the time. Oh yeah, Vanessa, they're finding stuff out there that they never even thought was down there. Years ago, even when it started to drop, they found an old, was it a B-52 or no, not a B-50, B-27, one of the old flying fortresses from World War II that they didn't even know it was in that lake. Yeah, they found a few of them in 50-gallon drums too. Yep, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, the old days back in Vegas. It was a B-17. Okay, I couldn't remember what it was. Oh, did I miss Joel's popped in? Good morning, Joel's. Up there in the Great White North. No, Vanessa, really? No, couldn't be. Yeah, it was an old bomber that they never even knew it was there. Old World War II bomber. And who knows how long it'd been down there, probably since World War II. But they didn't even know it was there. Like they lost it and it was like, oh, where'd this come from? So they find all kinds of things. Sunken boats, be more iced coffee. Now I can't drink cold coffee. Mine's got to be hot. I've tried the cold coffee and it's okay. I mean, it's not terrible, but I just can't do it. I need nice. I drink hot coffee when it's 95 degrees out here. I just got to have my hot coffee. So, Annette, good to see you. Yeah, right, Rabbit. That's not really coffee to me. Just give me some freshly brewed black coffee and I'm good. Like I said, I actually made some Black Rifle coffee today. Somebody gave me some, said, here, try this. I was like, okay. So, but it's beans. So I actually have to use the grinder and grind them up. And a lot of times I don't have time for that. So, but on the weekends when I'm not as busy, I will grind up some coffee and have some good coffee instead of just the stuff that comes in the can. It's already pre-ground. But exactly, Robert. Yep. Coffee's supposed to be hot. That's just my opinion. And like you were saying, that other stuff's more of a dessert, I think. Liquid dessert. So, guys, I think it's about time for me to get off of here, unless anybody has something else they want to talk about real quick. Because I need to get some things done because there is storms coming. And again, I want to, after I get, well, I don't really have much to get ready for the storms because, we're already ready. But just make sure my radio is all the way charged, which it should be because I charged it a couple of days ago and I haven't used it since then. So, good morning.
Hey, good morning there, my when do you think we're going to start there World War III? And do you think that we're already in, like, Trump's got the secret troops down there? What's your take?
When are we going to start? I think we started World War III a while ago. I mean, you could argue it started with Russia and Ukraine, but they say technically we're not in World War III, but yeah, I think we're already there. If not, if the oil don't start flowing to China and North Korea pretty soon, we will be. So that's my take on it. Should definitely be ready. So guys, get ready for the storms. Keep your ears open, keep your radios on when it gets close, so you know what's coming. Hopefully you're ready for the floods. If you're in a flood area, make sure your sump pumps are working right. Make sure you got everything ready to go. L-Dog, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate all of you stopping by. Have a good day. Keep prepping. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep doing the things, y'all. And we will see you tomorrow night on Rural's channel for the 0 Hour Podcast. So have a good day, y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I'm out.